Hi everyone, welcome back to our channel. Today we're making a healthier twist on a true classic, chicken pie. This isn't just any chicken pie, it's been lightened up but still packed with all those comforting flavors you love. So if you're looking for a dish that feels indulgent but that's lighter, you're in the right place. To give this pie a nutritious makeover, we're skipping the heavy pastry and cream, and instead we're using filo pastry for a light, crispy topping. Trust me, you won't even miss the old version. Plus, it's loaded with lean protein, fresh veggies, and aromatic herbs. So here's what you'll need for the filling. We've got 450 milliliters of chicken stock. I'm just using a stock cube, but it's got a lovely clean flavor. Then we've got 100 ml of white wine, totally optional, but it adds depth and a little bit of elegance. Then we've got 2 garlic cloves, which I'm gonna finely chop, a few sprigs of thyme and tarragon. Some's gonna go in the stock, some I'm gonna chop through at the end. I've got some carrots, which I'm gonna cut into batons, some leeks, which are gonna be thinly sliced, and add lots of veggie goodness. And I've got 4 skinless chicken breasts, which is about 500 grams in total. Then we're gonna mix that with 2 tablespoons of corn flour, 3 tablespoons of creme fraiche to give it a lovely creamy finish. And then just to add a little tang, I've got some Dijon mustard. And that's all gonna be finished with some chopped parsley and a bit of tarragon, which is gonna bring it all together. For the topping, I've got some filo pastry. I've got 70 grams, which is about 3 sheets, and I've got a tablespoon of rapeseed oil to brush it with. Let's get cooking. So first I need to finely chop some garlic and baton some carrots for our stock. So we're really upping the amount of vegetables in this pie. So we're using lots of carrots, which add sweetness and help bulk out the chicken. So now we've got our carrots and our garlic in our pan. We're just gonna add some stock. Totally optional splash of wine, but if you have some open, fantastic. I mean, if you didn't have wine, then a little splash of vinegar would be really nice as well, just to add a bit of acidity. But we've got some wine here. It's about half a glass, and that's just gonna go in. And we're just gonna flavor our stock, because these are the flavors that are gonna be running through the whole pie, with a sprig of thyme and a sprig of tarragon. So now I'm gonna bring this up to the boil. They're gonna turn the heat down and we're gonna simmer it for a few minutes just to start the carrots off. So next I'm just gonna nestle the chicken breasts in the stock. They don't have to be submerged because they're gonna steam once we cover it. We're gonna cook these for 5 minutes. Now to be honest, the recipe says 4, but our chicken breasts are really big, so I'm gonna stick with 3. A grinder pepper. So maybe about 1/4 teaspoon. And we're just gonna cover it with the lid, and we're gonna give it 5 minutes to poach before we add our leeks. So now we're gonna finely slice our leeks. Now when it comes to prepping leeks, they can sometimes have grit or dirt or soil between the layers. So the easiest way to deal with that is to cut them in half down the length, like so, and then look between the layers. And if there's any dirt or any grit or any soil, you need to give them a wash. But this one looks like it's already been washed, so we're good to go. So you ready for some chopping action? So our chicken breasts have poached for about 5 minutes. I'm just going to give them a turn so they cook evenly. I'm going to scatter in our leeks. Over the top. So I'm just going to press the leeks down so they're submerged in the stock. I mean, the smell coming off this already is amazing. You've got the aromats from the thyme, from the tarragon, from all those beautiful root vegetables. It smells gorgeous already, but then we're going to leave it to simmer for 10 minutes. And I'm going to turn the heat off and leave it just to sit for 15 minutes, which will keep the chicken lovely and succulent. So our chicken and our vegetables has had 10 minutes simmering, and we've let it sit for 15 minutes just so the chicken cooks gently and stays succulent. So big reveal. Ta-da, look at that. The chicken is perfectly cooked. The leeks are all soft. I can see that the carrots are cooked. And now we just need to strain this into a saucepan. Now, we've got our stock in the saucepan, and we're going to leave our chicken and our vegetables to cool a little. We'll just leave that to sit over the pie dish. So I want 500 ml of stock, so I'm just going to measure it. And then I'm going to pour that back into the cooking pan. So now we're going to bring our stock back up to a simmer while we make a corn flour slurry, which is going to thicken our sauce. So our stock is simmering, and then to make our slurry, we've got about 2 tablespoons of corn flour. We're just going to put that in a bowl. About a tablespoon of water should do this. In that goes. You just want all the corn flour to be dissolved in the water. It sort of has the texture of wet sand. There you go. So once our stock is boiling, it's time to add the corn flour. So you want the stock to be on a rolling boil, and we're just going to pour in our corn flour. We're just going to stir and cook until that's thickened. Stirring constantly until all that corn flour gets dissolved into the stock. So when you have a lovely, smooth, thickened chicken sauce, so the corn flour has thickened the sauce and it's all smooth, it's time to add some creaminess with the creme fraiche, and we're just going to add a little bit of pepperiness with some Dijon mustard. Just going to stir that through. And we've got this beautiful creamy sauce without adding too much cream. So where you would normally add about 150 millilitres of like double cream, we've only added 3 tablespoons of creme fraiche because the corn flour has done the job of thickening the sauce up. We've still kept things creamy, but we just haven't added loads of cream. So that, can you see the consistency of that sauce? That sauce is beautiful. I mean, classically you'd add loads of cream, loads of butter to that to get it to that consistency, but we haven't at all. Look at the consistency of that. We've got this lovely, thickened, creamy sauce with only 3 tablespoons of creme fraiche. So we've got some tarragon and we've got some parsley. Tarragon works beautifully with chicken, and then parsley just adds some freshness. And then we're just going to chop these. Now I don't want to pulverize them and take all the life out of them, but I do want them chopped. So I'd say sort of roughly chopped. We don't want them super fine. We still want some of their character in the sauce. That's perfect, look at that. Stir that through. I mean, that already smells incredible. That smells absolutely amazing. You've got all those beautiful flavours from the stock. You've got the stock is double concentrated because you used the chicken stock and we've poached chicken in it. You've got the flavour from the carrots, from the thyme, from the tarragon that we've used in there. And now we've got all that beautiful freshness from all those fresh herbs. That's our sauce made. So when the chicken's cool enough to handle, we're going to shred it into our sauce. So first, I just want to remove the tarragon and the thyme because it's done its job. And then we're going to tip the bits into the pie dish. And then you can use your fingers. You could do this with a knife, but I think it's lovely to get those kind of lovely bits of shredded chicken. Just pull the chicken apart. So that's the last of our chicken into nice chunks. I mean, you could stir all this round as well, but I think it's quite nice to have the chicken evenly laid over the top of everything. It also gives you a base for your pastry that we're going to add in a minute. Look at that. Give that a little shake just to get the sauce into all those gaps and get it covering all that chicken and all those vegetables. And there we have our pie filling done. So now the fun part, we're going to cover it with our filo topping. So we need 3 sheets of filo pastry. So filo pastry goes dry really quickly. So any pastry you're not using, make sure you wrap it up and put it back in its packaging as quickly as possible. Now for our topping, we want rough rectangles. So each sheet probably, let's do these in half, and then each one maybe into 3, like so. And then it's just a matter of like making it into a patchwork. So take a sheet of filo, I'm gonna brush it with a little bit of oil, and then we're just gonna put it over the pie, and we're just gonna want the pie completely covered like this. So it's just a matter of just keeping on doing this, and the pie is completely covered. Now with filo pastry, you get that crispiness. It goes beautifully. It's going to go golden and crispy. It isn't made with all that butter that traditional pastry is made with. Whether it's puff pastry or short crust pastry, there's normally a lot of butter that goes into it. But by using filo, you still have this beautiful topping and an absolutely gorgeous crispy texture, but we're just eliminating all that butter that comes with traditional pastry. As if it was meant to be, look at that. So there's our pie topped with that gorgeous filo pastry. I've just scrunched it up to give it a bit of rustic charm. That's going to go in the oven at 220, which is about 200 fan, for 20 to 25 minutes. Now remember, the filling's already cooked because we've poached the chicken, so we haven't got to worry about cooking the filling. All we want to do is get that pastry golden and crisp. Whether it's a family dinner or a cozy night in, this dish is sure to impress. Ditch those heavy pies and give this lighter version a try. You can thank me later. That's got so much flavour. Like, you're getting freshness from the tarragon and the parsley. Lovely contrast of textures because the pastry's super crisp. And the sauce, you wouldn't even know it's only made with 3 tablespoons of creme fraiche. It's got so much creaminess to it, honestly. Really, really good. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. And of course, head over to goodfood.com or download our app for the full recipes. See you next time.